Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're talking about Batman Returns. Based on sequels to Batman movies, probably one of my favorite Batman movies, just based on sequels alone, you got this, you got The Dark Knight, um, and technically you have Justice League if you want to really play in the fact that it's Batman, but it's kind of a gray area there. So this one is directed once again by Tim Burton, 1992 action-adventure, starring Michael Keaton once again as Bruce Wayne and Batman, Michelle Pfeiffer as Selina Kyle or Catwoman, Danny DeVito last seen as Phil in Hercules, as Oswald Cobblepot or the Penguin, Christopher Walken as Max Schreck, and Michael Gough once again as Alfred. Has a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, still higher than the far superior original Batman film. I'm not fully understanding how Batman Returns has a higher score than that. And when I say far superior, I don't mean like it's leaps and bounds better. It's not. It's not much better, but compared to quality, or in comparison of quality, I'd say that the original Batman's better than this. And off a budget of $80 million, the film made $266.8 million at the box office. It's not bad. I like this plot more than the first movie. Penguin wants to learn where he comes from, or where he came from. When he was born deformed, and his parents got rid of him. The whole timeline of the Batman movies, I don't know what year they're supposed to take in, because it's very 1990s technology, and then set kind of in this like gothic 1920s version of Gotham. It's so weird. I don't fully get it, so I can't say exactly when the Penguin would be born in this. Probably like early 1920s if we're to assume it takes place in the 90s. Then he ends up running for mayor, after being, like, for a lack of a better term, seduced by Max Schreck to help Penguin run for mayor. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle slowly fall in love after she becomes Catwoman. She like dies and then comes back to life, and then they slowly start to figure out that she's Catwoman, he's Batman. They slowly start to figure out each other's identity, and it's very weird, but I will say I kind of felt that this relationship was a little better developed than the one between Bruce and Vicky Vale from the last movie. The fighting scenes are damn fine in this. There's a lot of fist fights, especially between Batman and goons, and it just looks like he's just sitting there laying into them, and all these actors are stunt actors taking these hits, which it very well could be. The best thing, though, is watching Michael Keaton have to turn all the way to his left or right to look. He can't turn his neck because the suit's made of entirely rubber. So, he can't go like, He has to turn his whole body to the sides in order to speak to whoever he's talking to. It's very funny, and it's just kind of like, how are you throwing punches in this suit that makes you look uncomfortable? I don't quite get it. Funny, but I don't fully get it. Obviously, the Batmobile is the same as the last film, aka it looks amazing. And even the design for Catwoman looks good. That's her helmet right there, or headgear, whatever you want to call it. You can sort of get a good look at her right there. I gotta learn how to be better at editing and get pictures of these characters up in these videos. It doesn't look too bad, and it's stapled leather, but I like the look of it. I think I'm just used to it. That's the thing. I've watched this movie since I was like 8 or 9, so I'm used to the way she looks. I'm used to that weird Halle Berry version of Catwoman that doesn't look that great. I'm used to seeing these, and like, here's your on-screen Catwoman. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer's looks the best out of them all, even compared to the 60s Catwoman, which I don't, maybe her design is on the back here. Very briefly, right there. It's very similar to what she looks like, just less staples and less leather. The Penguin's design is pretty gross. It looks good, though. I will say that. I think they went overboard designing the costume for the goons, though. They're supposed to be like circus acts and circus clowns and all this. But disheveled circus clowns and jesters and all this. It looks creepy and weird. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like the simple design of the 60s goons, So here's your overly done, creepy whatevers, and here's your simple pirates. I prefer the simple pirate goons from the 60s. I did enjoy the penguin bombers from the final fight, penguins with rockets strapped to the back of them. Those looked good, and they were actually kind of comic accurate. He does have penguin bombers. The Penguin, though, has this weird thing. When he gets the crap beaten out of him, he has this black sludge that starts to leak from him, and it's supposed to be like his blood, and it's gross and nasty, and it's a good effect, but it's so, ugh. I can handle, say watching like Friday the 13th, watching Jason rip someone's arm off. I can handle that. I can handle Freddy stabbing someone through his stomach. I think it's the idea that I know it's fake because it looks fake, but then you see that and you're like, what is that? That's disgusting. He has black tar leaking from his nose. But he does come up with this. He wants to take control of the Batmobile, so he's got this little like arcade version of the Batmobile that he drives, and he takes over the actual Batmobile using like a homing beacon or some crap, some technological thing. And he's driving it, and I'm fairly certain that my mall still has the original arcade version of this game, because they have a little toy Batmobile, and every time I walk by it, I think to myself, Danny DeVito stuffing himself inside of it, dressed as the Penguin, controlling the Batmobile, slamming on the horn, pretending to tell people to get out of his way. That always comes to mind, and I always snicker walking by it, and people don't always understand why. But yeah, I'll give this an 8 out of 10. I do enjoy it, and the acting is phenomenal. I mean, Danny DeVito, he's just America's grandpa. I love him and everything he's in. And I'm not even a huge Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan. But if I were to get into the show, it'd be because of him. Or Charlie Day. I like Charlie Day too. I do enjoy it, but I have some small non-overlookable, if that's even a word, issues with it. Like I said, the design for the Penguin's goons are just not right. It's not that it's bad, but it could be better. So on Saturday, we'll be looking at Saw 3, aka Saw 3, as slow as you can go. There's a character inside of the movie, and I didn't even come up with that. Another YouTuber came up with that. But there's a character inside the movie who moves as like the pace of a turtle, and it's apparently really hard to watch, so we'll find out tomorrow night when I watch it. And then you'll find out Saturday afternoonish, sometime then. So, until Saturday with Saw 3, I'm Luke, and I will see you guys later. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed what you just watched. If you're interested in more of my videos, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notifications every time I upload a video. And also, if you could, just leave a like down below, and maybe even consider commenting, telling me things I did good, things I did bad.